Okay, so with everything going on in our economy today, as far as food shortages, uh, delays on receiving your products, government shutdowns, tax the rich, most people are panicking, wondering where should they keep their money and what should they invest in if they don't trust the banks. There's all type of threats indicating that we about to enter another recession. All the budget deficits just keep going up and down from the government printing too much money. We could possibly be going into the fourth quarter of next year, 2022, with this. So my question to you is, what are you doing to prepare? With all the labor shortages from employees either getting sick from COVID or just simply don't want to work at all because of the government assistance, that's eventually going to run out. Fuel prices are through the roof. Food costs is just soaring. Utility bills is, just skyrocketing. So for all those that out there wondering what to invest their money in, how can they go about doing business without using the banks, and how to prevent from losing it all, because it's going to affect us all, including myself. So that's why I felt the importance of making this video. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I'm going to give you some few tips. Don't take this as financial advice because it may not work for all, but I'm going to give you real life examples of what I'm using. So if this applies to you, you might want to stick around, check this out. Hopefully you get some good tips from this video. Let's get into it. Okay, so before I head out and start my day, I figure I'd drop y'all with some little jewels for those that either one, don't trust the banks, two, you got your money in the banks and you trying to figure out other alternatives and methods that you can use aside from the bank, or so you ain't got all your eggs in one basket in case the banks continue to decide to play with your money. And a majority of people is worried at times like this because of all the crisis is going on. 401k money's being stolen, stock markets crashing, going up and down, and just so many other different areas. But stocks is not my thing, so I'm not going to touch on that. I'm not even going to act like I'm an expert at that. But what I do know is you will be amazed at all the different investments and funnels that you can have your money tied into that don't involve banks at all, and that's what this video is about. So like I said, most people worry about not being able to do business without using a bank because they're looking into mortgages, apartments, or financing a vehicle. And true enough, depending on the amount of money is within the investment or the deal that you're trying to make, you will need to do a wire transfer, which that involves a bank, but that don't involve doing business with a bank on a regular, meaning you're using it for a savings account, checkings account, direct deposit, you trying to accumulate interest on your savings and all that. That just means you're dealing with the bank one time to complete that transaction and that deal. So don't confuse the two. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm not gonna waste your time, keep this video brief but impactful. At the end, stick around, like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. You can DM me with any questions, concerns, whatever. I'll be more than helpful, more than willing to help you, or either point you in the right direction. And me personally, I'm a strong believer in, if you're gonna give advice, take advice, or be using the advice that you're given. So I'm gonna give you some real life examples of investments that I utilize to avoid using the banks. And one of those investments is silver and gold, which the majority in silver because of the price of gold. If you follow the currency exchange, you'll know that gold is anywhere from $2,000 or better. So that's one. Another one is I keep high credit card limits. So that pretty much covers a lot of my day-to-day expenses, so I don't have to use cash, meaning I get to keep it. Don't have to worry about it sitting in the bank, getting them mediocre interests. And if you've been following me long enough, you pretty much know real estate. That's a major tool that I use to avoid using the banks. And like I said, certain situations, yes, you're gonna have to do a wire transfer for large sums amount, anywhere from $5,000 or more, 10 maybe. but that's dealing with the bank one time to complete a transaction. That's not everyday business doing with them. So those, well, I just gave you 3 right there alone. And like I said, I don't want you to take this as financial advice or nothing that I'm specifically telling you should invest in. I'm just giving you examples of things that I utilize so that I don't have to utilize the banks. And okay, I guess I gotta give you guys a bonus one. I utilize high credit lines, not credit card, but high credit lines, which is loans. And that allows me to use the money that I do have in the bank as collateral for reasons why they should give me this high credit line. Then I pull my cash out and utilize the credit line and just pay back on it monthly. So like I said, oh, and another major one is keep enough in the bank to cover basically your monthly high bills like mortgages, paying back those credit card limits that you're using. What are some big ones? Your card payment. So them is things that you definitely want to keep money in the bank for, but that don't require you having money just sitting in the bank. That money is being used monthly, weekly, for expenses like that. So I just gave you some real life game and ways that you can get around using the bank, but when you is using the bank, it's only for using it. OPM, other people's money.